So, welcome to a new show that we're doing. I realized late last night that I have multiple personalities in my head. I thought I had them for a while, but then apparently my missus said that I was talking to myself in my sleep. So I have these like weird voices that seem to like come out of nowhere. Carl is one of them. Hey, Carl, introduce yourself. Why are you in my head?
Hey Jimmy, we're currently in your head. We're part of an NFT collection, a new NFT collection called Collectible Causes. With me is also Infidel, one of the other creators with us.
Right.
He's also one of the.
It wasn't bad enough that there was one of you, but now there's like apparently there's three of you, and you're all brothers, and you're all in my head screaming at me to save the world. Um, Welcome, Collectible Causes. This is fun. I'm pretty stoked to have you guys on the line. I'm a little bit groggy, partially because it's super early in the morning for me, and also. I think there might be people in the audience actually believing that I'm insane, which is kind of fun. But also because I have a health check later today, and they told me I'm not allowed to have any coffee. So this is a first, first time to have Collectible Causes on the show, and also the first time ever to have Jimmy on the show without any coffee. So this could take some interesting turns. This could go some interesting ways. But before we start, we pretty much, just have to do this.
I'm not the bubble. 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 I'm not the bubble.
So those are our rocket ships. And this is NFT Game Day. I'm excited to have you guys here. I don't know if many people know who or what you guys are doing, who you guys are or what you're doing, but it really resonates. I'll just say it resonates a lot with me. It resonates, I think, a lot with what Uplift is doing and where Uplift art came from. It resonates definitely a lot with what I love about working for Jenner EOS, which is a block producer on the EOSIO chains, on many EOSIO chains from Australia, because they've got a very environmental focus. So give us a quick introduction, Carl or Infidel or both. And such a good name for a Simpsons character, Carl the Infidel. Give us a quick introduction. What is Collectible Causes, and then you'll all understand why Jimmy D loves it so much. Actually,
Carl, did you want to go, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, why don't you go? And I'll
Sure. So, Collectible Causes is a project where we connect local artists to charities. And we use the art, and by selling the art using NFTs, we're able to take the proceeds from that and contribute it to these charities. One thing we kind of saw when we were first getting into the NFT space was that it was kind of the middle of COVID too. And a lot of smaller charities were quite struggling for a lot of funds. So we thought to ourselves, well, why don't we create a collection with someone local and then contribute those funds to a local charity as well? Because they don't have the resources to do massive advertising campaigns or things like that. So that was the core idea behind it. And we got in touch with Karen Neufeld, who is a amazing artist. She primarily does acrylic painting, and so we connected with her, and she was our first artist that we've brought on, and she created a beautiful set of 63 unique animals. Sorry, I shouldn't say unique animals. 63 unique paintings of, if I'm not mistaken, 23 different animals. And yeah, our sale went live on the 23rd, a few days ago. And yeah, we're slowly, steadily selling some of them, and hopefully we can get some people to blend and get some contributions to the charity that we've chosen for. The first one is Alberta Wildlife Association.
Wilderness Association.
Wilderness Association.
Yeah.
Sorry, brain fart.
So you guys, I think this is interesting. You guys are brothers, actually, like 3 brothers from Alberta, or like, I guess, yeah, Alberta, Canada. So the Midwest. Like, what got you guys to the place where A, you were interested in blockchain, and B, you saw the need for charity in the blockchain?
It was just kind of mostly me that kind of stumbled upon random NFT stuff, and
there's that crazy couple again coming to Thanksgiving dinner talking about this digital buddy shit that doesn't make any sense. Fair enough, I get it. Yeah, continue.
yeah, I had dabbled in blockchain in 2011, when the 10,000 Bitcoin pizza and all the original memes of Bitcoin came around, and I sold all my Bitcoins. I had 500 for
Jesus.
$5 each.
Super crazy Carl, for sure. Yeah, right.
And I just
Crazy.
and I just forgot about it until just like I started using a Brave browser.
Mhm.
And so that's when I started seeing NFTs, and I just couldn't figure out what they were, and no one could tell me what an NFT was. And the more I dug, I found games. And the first one I played was Townstar, and it was okay. This was 8-9 months ago. It's quite different now. And eventually that led me over to Alien Worlds and the Wax blockchain. And from there, my involvement just skyrocketed. I spend pretty much every day doing crypto stuff, and now I'm on pretty much every chain imaginable. So that's how I got sucked into it. And from that, with discussions with my brothers, we decided to do a project, and that's how I sucked both of them in. And that's our pretty cool origin story, I suppose.
So Infidel, are you like, were you guys close before? Like, what was your, like, I guess you guys have a really interesting kind of scenario here, because yeah, like you said, you forgot about them, and then like you came back and you're just like, you're pretty blasé about it now. I had 500 Bitcoins, but I mean, like, what did you guys, how didn't I see that on CNBC? Like, isn't that worth like a few $1,000s? Like, what was your reaction when Carl came to you and said, I want to do this kind of weird thing on the blockchain?
Well, it was interesting. And I really wanted to jump in. Actually, I'm the one, Infidel. I'm the one who has had the Bitcoins, and I got Carl into it, so maybe he can explain that.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like we've played a lot of games together as kids, and one of the selling points that he brought to us was, you can actually own a piece of whatever you're playing, right? And I think the first game we ever played was it Alien Worlds?
Alien Worlds.
Alien Worlds. And being able to own a piece of land that people come to, and they do their mining, they do their they essentially you're like a landowner, and we thought that was such an interesting concept and so cool that you could trade it for other digital assets for other games. What's the other game that we were playing? Our Planet, where you can stake things. That's kind of where we got really interested and really involved in playing these games, and then playing games on the Wax blockchain.
Yeah,
That's...
Oops, sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just a little bit overtly excited because I realized that this wasn't all in my head. when Karen showed up.
Ooh.
Hi, Karen. Welcome to the stream.
Hi.
We're just hearing about how Carl and Infidel and the whole blockchain kind of idea popped into their head. But welcome, Karen, the artist. We'll get to you in like 2.5 seconds. Let's
Sure.
just let Carl finish that thought.
Yeah, I think afterwards we started getting really interested in the drops for NFTs. There was a bunch for other games that we were really hopping at, but we did see a lot of art that was tied to collections that already existed in real life. So MLB, Garbage Pail Kids, but we didn't really see anything that had a real world impact, where buying something digitally could influence or could have a positive change on the world. So we really did think about this concept quite heavily. And then we did land upon creating NFTs such that a large portion of the proceeds go towards an artist and also the charity that we're supporting.
Okay, like if I wasn't on the verge of death, I would probably just cancel my medical appointment now and have a coffee, because like this is kind of blowing my mind a little bit. I'm an educator, kind of, I guess. That's like my old life. And I wrote my whole postgraduate thesis on the fact that education is broken. I did like a basically, postgraduate degree, and my whole like 200-page book at the end of it was talking about how education was messed up and it was broken, because like basically in order to get money for education, you need to like get money from the government, and then you need to like follow their curriculum and follow all their stuff, right? And now I'm complaining as like a kind of Canadian who's living in Japan now, that has like two of the best education systems in the world. I studied in the US, but it's really bad, right? Like the fact that so I wanted to do this thing where I was going to sell, I was going to get the kids to grow food in the garden, and then I was going to get them to make lunch boxes and staff the cafeteria. And then I was like, they were building this giant monorail in Honolulu where I was living. And so they were going to go out to like the construction worker sites, like just outside the school, and set up these things and like sell them to the construction workers for lunch. And basically, I got told I couldn't do that because all the money in the education system needs to come from the government. Now, of course, I was like super annoyed with this. So I just decided to write my whole, thesis on the fact that the education system is broken. And I did it in a really bizarre, artsy way where I took like basically 5 different characters. The last 2 characters are a combination of my beliefs, but like other people in history as well. And I just said, like, there's no real world value. There's no real world knowledge, right? And there's kind of a running joke on this show where like I say that like, a lot of things need to be put into NFTs or put into tokenized, right? But in this case, when I do this, when I scroll over this cool piece of art, what I see here on the back of this card is like a little story, right? Like, and I'm kind of sad because apparently this grizzly bear is like extinct. But right, and there's like little history things, and I remember like being forced to have to like memorize these types of things when I was in school, and I absolutely hated it. But what this does, I think, is really cool, because now you're creating this kind of education that people could use, that people could collect, that people could enjoy. And you're doing it in a way that like gives back to the community. And I think that's in a way what education should do. I think that we're responsible as educators to get our, to get our students to become a part of society. But I think that like we've kind of lost that connection, especially in North America. I think we've really lost that connection of education to local communities. And I mean, Canada and the US is a really good example of this. You have administrators sitting, I don't know, in Toronto, deciding like the curriculum for like Thunder Bay. It doesn't make any sense. There's completely different communities. They're completely different people, right? You're pushing people from like inner cities and countryside to learn the exact same thing when those skills aren't useful. So I like the fact that you, did this series in a way that can actually be a little bit more educational. And I'm just kind of curious about, why did you choose endangered animals? And is this going to always be an endangered animal type of series, or are you going to choose to promote different in the future? Are you going to choose to promote different charities? I don't know, like maybe Native Indians or sorry, Native Americans. Oh, fuck, I don't even know. This is what happens when I don't have coffee. I become all politically incorrect. Not that I wasn't enough before, but like, you know, those Native people that were in Canada that like we stole their land. Are you gonna like choose to enhance other causes, right? Like potentially, you know, there's food issues and environmental issues. Somebody else talk. Save me from myself.
Yeah. All right, I'll jump in here. I'll help you out. So just to clarify for some of the viewers here, it's not the rarity of the cards is not related to the actual endangered status of the animal. So if you scroll up a little here, Jimmy, you'll see that for this grizzly bear, there's actually all 5 categories there.
Okay.
And we just used the rarity scale as a way the endangered scale as a way to scale our rarities here. And for the animals, they're actually just regular Canadian wildlife that you can find in the Rockies. And we have been so blessed in Canada to be so close to so much nature, so much just outdoorsy mountain stuff. And choosing wildlife, I think, was something what we were all really passionate about. We had spent just incredible amounts of time, and every child here rather, goes out to outdoor school, and we get to experience the great outdoors. So the wildlife here is just kind of very, what am I trying to say? It's close to home.
Infectious. It's contagious.
Yeah.
It messed you all up.
Yeah. I see here Mormon Matt D said stickers don't blend. They don't, not yet. Anyways, we haven't had a chance to decide on maybe a prize or something for stickers. So stay tuned for that. We'll have some of that soon. And as for future projects, we chose the name Collectible Causes specifically because we weren't going to just do animals. We would, for say, Series 2 and beyond, maybe consult different artists for different causes to support. Like you said, food insecurity could be one. We're working with another artist to do stuff about UNESCO heritage sites. So there's limitless potential to the project. It's just connecting with the artists and the charities to make sure that we have a nice little collection that people can get.
I think this is an excellent segue to talk about Karen.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was just gonna say, and how did you find Karen, and where did the art come from? So yeah, thanks for that. Welcome, Karen. Normally we do this on, as Matt and Mort D pointed out, on Friday. But I just want everyone to know that it actually is Friday for me. It might be, Thursday for you guys, but for me it's Friday, and it's a bright, beautiful 8:30 in the morning, a little bit brisk. And I'm not caffeinated, and I haven't been awake that long. So this is what the craziness that you're stepping into happens to be. But Karen, welcome. That's your art that we saw on the screen. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You're obviously not one of the brothers. I don't think. And so tell us about it. Tell us about like your kind of journey and partnership into this thing with these 3 Collectible Causes brothers that did this crazy NFT thing.
Well, my journey started when Chester approached me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in becoming involved with us? We're looking at getting some animals together and starting to promote it through a different type of setting. And we're hoping to support causes."
If 3 random brothers said that to me, I'd probably be running in the other direction.
Well, I knew the one before. Okay. I trusted him, so we knew each other before that. And I loved his entrepreneurship. And when it is extended to a cause that I really enjoyed, in preserving wildlife, because I do landscape and wildlife art. I was really excited to become involved, and the way that it's approached in this setting is a little bit different than normal, and that really intrigued me as well. So I'm hoping that it's going to really take off and bring awareness to a lot of wildlife situations, preventativeness, promotions, etc. And the cause that we chose is going to be getting a lot of this money, so that impresses me.
Yeah, and so I'm looking around here, not because I'm ignoring you, but I don't know if this is true or not, but this kind of resonates with this sort of style that you have here. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it resonates with a lot of, like, you know, Native American type of artwork that I've seen, you know, growing up in Canada. It reminds me a little bit of some of the designs that like went into the totem poles and things like that, more west on the West Coast. Also, I went to school in kind of the Midwest for a while. You know, the east side of the Midwest, and like, so there was a lot of like Native communities, and so I saw kind of a lot of that sort of art. So is this art kind of where does that is it influenced on that, first of all, and where does that like influence come from?
It's not based on that. It has been referred to, which is I'm proud. I'm happy that they do that. The type of art that I create was based on, I did a lot of photography, and in Alberta there's a lot of different lay of the lands that I approached when I was doing that, as well as I like to geocache. So I could be down a back road one day, I could be up a mountain the next day. So there's a lot of movement, and I really enjoyed that movement. And I loved infusing a lot of the colors I saw in Alberta, such as this time of year we have a lot of yellow larches out, and yellow ochre I infuse in a lot of different animals I have. I keep a reality to a lot of the bigger pieces. You won't necessarily see them in the smaller one, but in the bigger pieces I make the eyes really quite realistic so you can connect. But that way I kind of fuse the land and the animal together, and it's kind of a more impressionistic, contemporary type of artistic work that I do.
Very cool. Yeah, I like it. I'm kind of a big fan. So so back to, I guess, the brothers. There's one maybe not here. Is Chester's not here, I guess, or
No, I'm Chester. My internet name is Infidel.
Chester the Infidel. I like it. Who's that? A weird dude. I can't remember his name now. It was great. He had this.
Silence! I kill you.
Right?
Ahmed
Yeah.
the terrorist.
What was the same? Ahmed the terrorist. It was great. I love it. Yeah. Tim Robbins or something like that. Yeah, it was really good. So that's, yeah, I mean, that's really cool. And so like 50% of this drop is going to go towards the Alberta Wildlife Association, as you said. Now, do they know that they're working with a blockchain company, or are you just going to take this money out and then deposit to them directly without them knowing?
We were debating that at the start of this launch, whether or not we would tell them. But we thought that the best way to actually work with them is actually to tell them about us. And that way we could do some cross promotion with their followers and then our followers as well. Where, you know, if you bought the NFT, you might donate directly to them, or vice versa, where if you're a donator to AWA, you might buy our drop. So we actually have been working with their executive director, Ian. Oh, I can never remember what his last name is. Dr. Ian, the executive director over there, and we do have their blessing to go through with this. So we have been working with them pretty closely, and they are aware that we are selling NFTs with 50% of the net proceeds going directly to them. I think right now we're planning on donating 30 days after launch. So
nice. Yeah, so I work for EOS, and they did like a charity drop, part of their block rewards. They sent off to a couple a couple environmental organizations in Australia that were trying to help like with all the bushfires and things that were happening a year or so ago, and rejuvenate the habitat. And one of the things that we do with Yoshi drops is we're trying to raise money to sink carbon through the planting of trees. So I'm always interested to know like how far we can go from like a charitable sense, and involving real live conversations about this crazy internet money that's totally a scam. Which I'm so surprised people haven't figured it out right now. I mean, it went from what, like nothing to $60,000-$70,000 now. And so I think that's kind of a really interesting aspect. Second, like I had a stream yesterday with Burst of Energy, who's kind of a Midwesterner himself, and he was telling a story about how the Rotary Club in Canada actually like sent his missus a thing to like buy a poppy on like as an NFT, right? And like this is the Rotary Club in Canada, which I think is just hilarious, right? So I think like, is there a lot of people in the general vicinity that you guys are hanging out with, like normal people? Have, like you said, you had never heard of NFTs, you didn't know what they were, you had to dive into them. Are people starting to understand this concept of NFTs and crypto and digital art? Because I think that's always the thing, right? Like it's well, isn't that just a picture? And like, why do I have to pay money when I can download it for free, or I can take a screenshot of it, right? Of course, like that sucks because it empowers the artist as well, right? To be able to have this on the blockchain and attribute that kind of IP to their name, number one. Number two, the ability to actually like make a living out of art instead of someone just taking a picture or music or whatever. But what's the general sentiment about where, I know you guys are a little bit spread out now, but where you guys are you in an echo chamber of NFTers, or like does everyone just not really get it still?
So when we first talked with Ian, the director of AWA, the way we explained NFTs to him was digital baseball cards, essentially. So they have rarities, they have limited amounts. They're just hosted on servers in the spooky cloud that no one can see. At least for me, I work in tech. So a lot of the people that I hang around are aware of blockchain technologies and are aware of that type of stuff. They're mainly in it to make that money. They're buying like Dogecoin and Shiba Coin and all these other crazy coins, but definitely not a lot of involvement in NFTs. Besides what we've seen on the news of, people selling their NFT
right.
for I think $60 million or some crazy sum like that. So
yeah,
I think there's still a lot of kind of apprehension to NFTs. When I was talking about this with my uncle, back in 2011, he said, the main reason he just didn't understand it was that he couldn't hold it in his hand. It wasn't something physical. It wasn't something tangible. And I think the vast majority of people still feel that way. It's still this kind of internet funny money. It could be a Ponzi scheme, and I think the media a lot doesn't really help. It just tends to be about Bitcoin's price as opposed to all the good that NFTs and blockchains have brought, and any future use cases for NFTs and blockchains as well.
I think touching upon the physical media point, I think that was one of the other factors that make our collection a little bit unique. If you do craft up to the highest rarity, and you are the number one, you're the first one to mint the highest rarity, the extinct, you can actually trade that for physical painting that Karen has actually created. We will ship it to you anywhere in the world if you burn your NFT, and that will become not like a digital card, but you can pretty much take it out of your screen and you'll have the actual painting on hand.
So you have to actually burn the NFT to get the real life artwork.
Correct.
Yep.
That's
is correct.
interesting. Why did you go that route?
We wanted to.
I hope people don't. I hope people read the fine print and don't burn the artwork to get the NFT, because that would really suck.
Yeah, it's the number one. So it should be in the FAQ on the website, and the idea behind it is that we didn't want the number one extinct of any of the cards to have value where it shouldn't. We didn't want to be disingenuous, because let's say, for instance, someone had the number one extinct, and they claimed the card and they got it shipped to them, and they go on Atomic Hub and sell the card again for full price or whatever value it happens to be, and someone buys it expecting to be able to redeem for the card, but we've sent it out. So we thought it most secure that the card is burned.
I mean, you bring up a good point, because like a lot of projects, I think, when they're thinking about doing this sort of stuff, they're just like, well, that's kind of like the person's fault who bought it. Like, they didn't read, they didn't do their homework, they didn't do their research. But like, let's face it, the majority of people don't do their research. They just click, right? So, I mean, even in the world beyond blockchain and crypto, we take a lot for granted, especially in small towns or in very communal cultures. Like, one of the worst things to happen to people in recent times in the world is, your grandma or your mom who might not have that much, tech savvy in her life, gets an email from Aunt Rose, who for some reason is stranded in Africa. We didn't even know she was there, and she needs like a bunch of money deposited to her bank account stat to get out, right? And we laugh about these types of things, but like, it's very common. We live in this world of like instant gratification, everyone looking really quickly, and so I guess that makes sense to me. I mean, I don't know, for me, if I had the number one mint, like that's a really difficult thing for me to challenge. Like, that's a really difficult challenge for me to make. Like, do I want that physical piece of artwork as the nomad that I am sent to my thing, or do I just want to hold on to that NFT forever and hope that Karen or whoever else is going to store that piece of artwork for me forever, right? Like, how does that work? So like, where is this art kept, and how is it, like, because I can see there's going to be people who maybe won't burn these NFTs. They'll just want to keep the digital form. And then, so what happens to that actual physical art?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. So in the extinct level cards, there is a disclaimer that after 1 year, should the NFT not be redeemed, we will auction it.
Okay.
We'll auction the physical card. So should you be the person who owns the number one extinct and you want to keep the art, and you want the physical painting, you can participate in the auction and use that to acquire the physical card. So then you'll have both. You have a number one extinct and you'll have a physical card. So that's like the best of both worlds scenario.
Now the auction will go back to this cause of
It will, yes. So for the drop, 50% of the proceeds will go to AWA. For the auctions, we're not taking anything. The full amount of the auction proceeds will go to AWA. That's
I love it. That's a really nice little adaptation there. That's great. I mean, read the fine print, ladies and gentlemen, because like, I don't on a lot of these NFTs.
As for where these NFTs or the physical paintings are stored, a very secure igloo in southern Alberta, where you cannot find it. Yeah, definitely don't look too hard. It's definitely not hidden somewhere.
That's like, it's below the seed bank in the Yukon, right? Wherever that is. I like it. Yeah, that's so there's another project that we kind of were fans of, Metaphors. Like, they did it a similar way, because they didn't want people to just be holding on to these packs, ad infinitum until like the end of time. So they said if your packs weren't open after a year, that they weren't going to be able to be open. But like, no shade not throwing shade on them because I think that's a cool idea, but I think you guys have really leveled it up with the charity thing because, like you said, actually there is a loophole to be able to keep that #1 NFT and get that art. But yeah, there could be some interesting bidding wars there.
There
Sure.
could be a bidding war, so you might end up paying more than you bargained for if you really wanted that card.
Yeah, Martin, I don't think that they're going to ship you a grizzly bear anywhere in the world. I'm just saying. I like it. So yeah, that's very cool. Now there was something else I was going to ask as well. Maybe here. Yeah. So I got all lost. Yeah. So the packs came out.
So if you head down to the blends, you can actually see the.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and you can open a pack on stream if you'd like, or we can send you some packs.
Yeah, I'm gonna open one on screen. I gotta get more wax. I keep spending it all. It's a problem with wax. I mean, I don't know what it's like in Canada, but like there's in Japan, we're in a bit of a recession here. We've been in a recession since the bubble burst. These are really cool. And so so we've been, I don't know which one's my favorite. It's like they're like Pokemon. I want to get them all. I like the Pika though, to be honest. I think
I do love a Pika. It's one of my favorites. I also love the white-tailed deer that we turned into a sticker. That is my favorite by far.
Are Pikas the ones that run off cliffs?
No,
those are
no, those are
lemmings. Right, lemmings.
Pikas are the ones that are based off of, like Pikachu is actually based off of.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of the art. I like the style. I like the style of the art, but I also just like the style of the NFTs. So with the physical painting, then is it a carbon copy of this? Without the kind of glowing lights type of thing, or like is it? Are the borders missing? Like, how much of this actually represents the physical painting?
Yeah, so the borders are added, and of course the foil hologram effect you see here on the extinct level cards are all the NFT-ized versions of the paintings. Let me get you a link on our Twitter. We actually posted a photo of one of our paintings in real life. So
okay, well, while you do that, I'm going to open this gold pack because I want to see what happens because I'm pretty stoked about it.
He loves the Pika, so send him the Pika. Did you send him the Pika?
I think I did.
Okay.
So we had a digital artist who did all the borders and the backings and a lot of our logos and promotional materials. So he was the one responsible for turning Karen's physical art into our very beautiful NFTs here.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there's a porcupine there. That's cool. And it's just kind of nice to open these up and know that, like, I'm saving animals, really. like I'm like I'm kind of, the deer is sweet. That's I don't know. I kind of like some of the bland ones better than the glossy, brightly colored ones, if I'm honest about it.
Yeah, and that's completely fair. And there's tons of cards out there, so you can definitely keep a few.
So this is one pack.
That's one pack. 50. So a gold pack is 50 cards inside.
That's insane. How many cards are in the series? The whole.
We did. This is a pre-minted drop, so we.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I think I meant like how many. So how many? How many? Unique? Not cards. Like how many unique images are there in the series?
63.
63. Okay, 63.
23 different animals.
Okay. They're all so you said that before. Sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, 23 different animals. Oh, so there's a good chance. Like, there's a chance that I could have gotten all 23. It's probably a little bit slim, but there's a chance. That's cool. All right. Well, let's go to the blends page and see what happens. Let's go see if I can blend something. Although, if I get, I don't want to blend the deer because I kind of like that deer.
Let me send you another gold pack, and then you can blend, and you can open that.
Oh, I can buy one too. It's all right. I don't mind. But let's go. Where's NFT Blocks? Oh, I'm at NFT Blocks.
Oh, you had to exit out of that. It's still the drop page.
Right. Sorry. I get confused. And so if we go to the blends, which we're at now, I told you, like, morning time, no coffee. It's insane. I don't know how you do it. One of you said you don't drink coffee. I don't. Karen, do you drink coffee? Are you a coffee lover?
Yep.
I think you have to be if you're but apparently these guys, only one of them is, and it baffles me. Especially without coffee, it's super baffling. So missing ingredients. Well, let's see.
So if you go to top,
let's see if I
filters.
have any of them. Wow. Wow.
So you didn't have any triplicates.
That's kind of not optimal. I mean, it's good for the animals, I guess.
We're not getting shredded,
right? Huh?
Why don't you go ahead and send him another pack?
Why are there no drops?
We actually dropped on Atomic Hub.
Oh, that's why. Okay, sorry. I can do that too. Sorry, I do remember picking them up on Atomic Hub. So what was there a reason behind dropping on Atomic Hub, or that was just?
It was what we were familiar with, so that's what we did. We spent the vast majority of our time on Atomic Hub, and we weren't super used to NFT, but I think I've had enough experience of NFT now, creating the blends and doing other things that we can definitely consider NFT blocks for our next drop.
Collectible. Oops.
A collectible C.
Why don't you send him another pack?
Able?
Collectible. Yeah, it's okay. I can send you a pack here, Jimmy.
You can, if you want to do it, it does make it easier. I'm gonna get another one later anyway. But it's Kansai Crypto. KANSAI KRYPTO. Collectible TIBLE. See, right? Makes it easier. This guy can't spell. It's early in the morning. He hasn't had coffee. He did, that's good.
Jimmy, while that loads, do you want to take a look at the tweet in our chat?
Sure. The comments that I've been completely ignoring.
I think 100%. I think you'll like the tweet. So take a look at that.
Oh, here in the private chat.
Yes.
All right, let's do that. I can do that.
You said you liked the pica, so.
Is it a pica? I don't know. I just assumed it was a pika.
Is it pika?
Because it's pika too.
I say
but
pika.
I could be wrong. Like I don't know. Like
pika, pica, they're the same thing.
Yeah, potato. I don't know about that. I'm not sold. If somebody gives me a potato salad, I'm probably not going to eat it. I'm just saying.
Karen, is it a pika or a pica?
That's cool. That's really cool. Actually, I like it. Yeah. So I'm a little bit surprised. This is a little bit smaller than I was expecting it to be. Are they all the same size? The original
They're
artwork?
all the same size. Yeah. So I had asked Karen to do them in what do you call them? Like trading card size. So 3.5 inch by 2.5 inch. And I just let Karen have artistic freedom on whatever she wanted to do there. The only restriction was, of course, getting it onto that tiny little piece of paper, which did cause a few headaches, and I'm sure Karen can talk about that as well.
Yeah, that's really small. Like I'm kind of curious on, is this normal? Like for you, are you normally painting with a magnifying glass and a?
No, that was a little bit of a challenge for me. I wasn't used to painting at that size, and it was kind of at the start of COVID where a lot of the paint I used wasn't available in the stores, or you couldn't go into the stores. So I had to order them in. So either they weren't available or I had to wait a long period of time. And sometimes they would send me packs of the actual acrylic paper that I had to use short some. So there was a lot of issues that I had to go through, and so it kept extending the time a little bit because I can't get enough paint, I can't get enough of these papers in. So eventually it all came together, and I was pretty happy with it.
Right. I mean, that's kind of, I'm going to make a really bad joke, so I should probably stop. But like, yeah, like definitely there needs to be a bus ad somewhere that, like, you know, talks about how to save starving artists from starving even more during COVID times. I like it. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Okay, cool. I got another gold plaque. Let's see if I can get a blend. That'll be fun. I'm impressed. I'm even more impressed now. Now I'm really torn because I don't know what I wanted. Like before, I was kind of thinking, I don't know if I really want to, you know, part with this cool artwork. But now seeing those little, you know, cute images of animals that are so tiny.
Honestly, I just want to. I'm really tempted to bid on some of them myself a year from now if there's any left, because I've grown attached to them.
Yeah. So how actually, while we do this, how will that auction take place? Like, so where will the auction take place? So it'll be an online auction. Will it be, you know, an in-person auction, or haven't you even really thought?
We haven't decided yet, and I would imagine it would be online just to give it a little bit more of a viewership. But we'll decide once we get a little closer to the day. But on a side note, we actually have 5 additional paintings that can be won by people who own NFTs from a collection. So Karen has graciously agreed to do 5 extra commissions, custom paintings in the same size, but 3.5 inch by 2.5 inch, to 5 lucky people that can win a commission of their choice, and they'll have to let Karen know what they'd like, and we'll get it shipped out to them at no cost.
So when you say commission of your choice, like, does that mean one of the existing animals already, or does that mean like I can choose an animal? Like,
yeah, you can choose an animal. I think it would be up to yourself to, you know, whatever suits your fancy. If you'd like a raven, and we don't have a raven in the collection, so that might be a good choice.
are you like, are you on bad terms, Karen, with any animals? Are there any animals that you would like refuse to represent? You're just like, no, I don't like the fact that you're always eating my garbage, and I just can't deal with you anymore. So I'm refusing to commission one of these paintings.
I'm pretty open to any wildlife that you'd like me to paint if you happen to win.
Oh, sweet. That's cool. I like it. All right. So if I own all the requirements, let's see if something pops up. With my luck, it's going to be a white-tailed deer too, because I don't want to, you know, burn them. There's just something about deer. I don't know if you guys have ever been in Japan, but in Japan they have these things called onsens. It's very similar to in Banff. They have these hot pools that you can go and you can swim in. Okay, this is fun. I've got, wow, that second pack really filled out these blends.
Plenty of choices.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys choose. Choose one. Which is there one that you haven't seen yet? Is there one that you?
No, but mallard duck. Huh. No one's blended that. You can give it number 1.
Where's the mallard duck?
Just on your left there.
Right here. This one. All right. That's, oops, sorry. That's very cool. Wow. All right. So I'm still gonna have 2 ducks left.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. So blend that, and then what was I gonna ask? Oh yeah. So the hot pools like that they have out west in the mountains. You know, they have these here, but I used to live in Hokkaido, and Hokkaido is like the northern island in Japan. And they have these hot springs, and you can sometimes sit outside of them, and it's pretty cool because you'll be sitting. Oh, there we go. You'll be sitting outside in one of these hot pools, and like a deer will just like stroll past. Is this the blend?
That's the
Why am
one.
I-
So the yellow is the near threatened rarity of the mallard duck. So
Okay.
it takes 3 cards of every rarity to move to the next level. So if anyone here has played or crafted in Colonize Mars, it's a very similar mechanic to that. So there's 5 levels. All the what do you call it? All the cards in the packs are least concerned, and you can craft 3 of those to make near threatened, 3 near threatened cards to make to make a vulnerable, 3 vulnerable to make a endangered, and then 3 endangered cards gets you the extinct. And that first person to get it extinct will have the right for a year to get the physical card.
Okay. So that's pretty cool, actually. So 5 times 3, so 15 technically to get all the way to the extinct level. You'll need 15.
It's actually 3 to the power of 5. 81 cards.
3 to the power 81 cards. Sorry, you lost me there.
So because each time it takes 3 of the previous rarity, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if you wanted to make a vulnerable,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I
It's
see what
too
you're
early
saying.
for a math lesson for Jimmy.
Yeah, it's way well, and plus, I'm a history teacher. I'm not a math teacher. So yeah, totally. I totally blanked on that. Yeah, you're right. So wow, 81 cards. I mean, that's a lot of good charity. I'm just gonna say that. Fair enough. And they're not that expensive either, to be honest. I mean, $60
yeah,
for
you get
charity.
Yeah.
So here's my only problem with this, and it's not your fault. But I will say this. My major problem with this is that the real world beyond blockchain. They really need to get their shit together, because I want to be able to support projects like this that support artists, that support charities, and I want to be able to have it as a tax write-off. And right now I can't do that, right? Because nothing in crypto seems to be like it's tax write-off. Now, I guess if you went in and you bid on the auctions of the paintings, that would be a tax write-off, because you're bidding for something that's going directly to charity. So do you guys see this changing anytime soon? I mean, like we're starting to get a little bit more progressive when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto. But like one of the big issues that we had with the first project that we started, that was founded by M Blue, which went on to like kind of found all of these other projects that we work for, or co-found them, was M Blue and I and a few other people. We were trying to look at how to put charity on the blockchain. And one of the biggest things that we found was that we weren't able to actually give people those tax credits in the system that exists today. So do you guys see this changing anytime soon, or do you have wind of maybe a way to skirt around this? Like, I don't know, like if you use a credit card payment to buy these things, does it count? Like, I don't know. Have you put any thought into this? Maybe you haven't. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but the core issue is that we ourselves are not a charitable organization. So in giving the payment to us, it doesn't really count as charity. So yeah, like you said, that is a major barrier for a lot of people to decide to support, because what they're getting at the end of the day is the art, and it does support the artists as well. And we found out the hard way that actually launching a collection is quite expensive too and time consuming. So there's a lot of factors in play, but I do think that eventually things will change once the governments recognize that, number one, it's taxable, and then they can get their cut, and thus we can get some tax write-offs for people, and that would be great for everybody.
So on Karen's side, like I'm assuming that you're paying Karen some money. I hope you are, because I mean the art's worth it. But I mean, Karen, as an artist, like how do you feel about this whole new medium? Like, do you think that it's going to be good for people like you who are, maybe lesser known? They're not necessarily, people who have reached to Hollywood, people who are going to promote them. Like, what are your thoughts on this whole new adventure?
I think right now, NFT is just, I think, starting to hit the actual market in the way for artists. I find myself being a fusion point, an entrance point. A lot of the artists I know say, I don't know, it's kind of like triple and doubling your artwork. But on the other hand, I like being the entrance point here because if things go well, it may open the doors for other artists to take a look and say, hey, I can still do this, but I can also do this. So I think it is starting, but I think it's going to take some time. But with a lot of people being more online and investigating more areas, I think that it will start to open up maybe year and a half, 2 years maybe. I don't know. It depends on how fast things go.
I'm really bullish on crypto, but I'm not as bullish on that as you. I hope that you're right. Like I do, but I think it's going to take longer. So yeah, a couple of more questions from Morton. He wants to know, are these pre-minted or are they minted on demand? I'm assuming that the higher rarity levels are minted on demand, but with the lower pack ones, are the numbers pre-minted or?
Correct. But every card that comes in the packs is pre-minted. So there's 102,000 or so NFTs ready to be opened and spread around the world. And like in the blends, if you're the first one to do a blend, you'll get the number one. So those are all on demand.
Okay, very cool. And then, I mean, you're causing me a lot of problems here now, because now, like you said, 81, but then I'm going to need more than that, because I'm going to need like to the power of 6 now, because I don't want to burn that number one.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the more, I mean, it's a really good system. There was one more question I wanted to ask you too, and I can't remember what it was now. But it was something along the lines. Oh yeah, so I mean, this what I'd like to see, to be honest. Like, because like I'm, on the other side of the world, and I don't know where I'm going to be next year. I mean, if Karen's right, and it only takes till next year, and even if she's wrong, I mean, I've been in this game for a little bit, so I'm just starting to get to the point where I kind of can understand it, and I can kind of make a living out of it. Which isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do. But it's really difficult for me because I'm not really sure where I'm going to be. So what I'd like to see you guys do is put a blend. I mean, make it pricey, make it costly, but like for people like me who might never want to collect this art, because I don't know where my home's going to be and I don't want to move it around, but I might like my daughter to have it. Like every year I could pay for a special card.
It's like a storage fee in a
that
sense.
could like be blended, which would give me one more year before the piece of art was auctioned off. That's right. And I mean, like, again, that money could go towards charity as well. Like, I just really like the fact that you could do so many interesting things. I mean, feel free to use it. Feel free to like be like, that's the worst idea ever, Jimmy. Like, we're not storing the shit in our garage forever. I don't even know. I'm just assuming if you're Canadian, you're usually storing shit in your garage. I mean, that's what my parents are like. So, but like, there's just so many fascinating things I think that you can do with this whole series and this whole thing. And I want to, I'm not in the best state of mind to do this right now, but at some point I do definitely want to talk to you guys. Cause I think like, maybe we could, I'd like to do maybe some kind of, I don't know, support or cross collaboration with Gen or EOS at the very least. And
Awesome.
See like, because they're doing a lot of the same stuff and they're involved in NFTs. So, I mean, we started this thing called the Uplift World, where we should go in there actually and put up some gratitudes, because that's going to be on the Gen or EOS plot. So before we do that, I'll pull the game up now and we can go in. I'll pull the metaverse up now and we can put in the gratitudes. But like, yeah, I think like it just resonates a lot with what they're doing. With the Australian habitats and environment and things like that. So hopefully. Have any of you guys actually ever been into the Uplift World?
We haven't had a chance. We have a whole bunch of land.
You do?
We just haven't had a chance to play. We've been so busy doing this project, I completely forgot about it. I think I have a few million upliftium that I haven't claimed yet.
Fair enough. What's do you know where your land is? Do you know what server it's in?
Land Key Genesis Edition Uplift.
Okay, you're in the Uplift server. All right, fair enough.
Got some rail keys here.
Yeah, it's fun times actually over there.
We actually
if
got 5 million upliftium right now.
That's not bad. I mean, like, so yeah. Yeah, definitely. You should figure out. You guys should definitely put some of this artwork up into the Uplift.
All right, that's a great idea.
Right now, I think I gotta check because the numbers changed, but I think it's 4 million yen for one piece. But like you said, like they kind of add up really fast here. So I'm not sure why this isn't pulling up. There we go. It's just my computer's really slow. I was really worried about what I was going to do in the future, to be honest. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get a new Mac Book Pro. And if anyone out there in the audience has used one, let me know what you think. But
I just bought one.
Right? The M1 chip ones?
Yeah, the M1 chip one. I waited 7 years, so this better be good.
Right. Yeah, right. I think I haven't bought a new computer in a really long time, but yeah, so like it. All right, let me see. This should be almost ready. So, are you familiar with the Uplift, Karen?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, the Uplift is a metaverse. Well, it's kind of a metaverse. It's a metaverse that's built on Minecraft. It's a Minecraft is probably the most popular, the most played game ever. And our founder, Corey, which is my co-host usually on the show, but I think he's probably sleeping right now. He's probably awake, to be honest, but yeah, he had this idea that if we could map land rights to different sectors in the Uplift world, which became the Uplift world, that it would be a pretty cool idea. And there's all these artists and all these galleries that are doing and creating amazing, wonderful things. Am I losing you guys? Can you still hear me?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Because like my screen sometimes freezes and I'm not sure. But yeah, have you tested it out yet? Like I want to know, like, is it powerful? Does it give me the power that I need to, take over the world? That's what I want to know about this new Apple computer. They've got all these features. They're telling me that that's really good, but unless I can take over the world with it, I'm really not interested.
From the benchmarks I've seen, this is supposed to be the best computer ever designed for laptop form factor. Yeah.
Right. So
mine comes in 4 weeks, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, from all the hype that I've seen, yeah, definitely people are frothing at the mouth.
I was a little bit like, I was a little bit worried about. I'm excited. I just have to decide which size I want to get, because my screen's totally freezing. Which size I want to get, because I think I want something that is portable, but I also want something that works. So what we do here, Karen, you might not know, but we come in here every week, every show, and we put our gratitudes up. Now, I think I'm going to be over here. Oh, I see. You guys aren't seeing my screen. That's weird. There we go. Let's do it that way. And we put our gratitudes up. We have this tradition of putting gratitudes up and just saying what you're grateful for. So I need to find, this is actually Jenner EOS city, I guess, Jenner EOS Island. Once it renders, there's a giant mountain right here in the center. This is actually the Jenner EOS logo. And yeah, so this is our little kind of Jenner EOS plot, foundational plot. And they're a block producer. They do a lot of charity stuff, which is part of the reason I like, hanging out and helping them out and working for them.
That's a
Cool.
pretty cool looking logo.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking logo. Actually, they did a good job. And so I was able to come in here with almost no Minecrafting experience. I had a little help from a friend of mine, but I built the mountain out of the logo. So I 3Dified it. I 3Dified the logo, which was kind of fun. Most of the rest of the city, as you can see, is under the water. Sometimes I go under there.
Cool.
Sometimes I get lost. But I was just playing around one day, and I decided to put this weird little kind of glass wall up because I wanted to see how far from the bottom I was. And, you might be wondering why there's some water in there. And that's because Minecraft has some really amazing features. And that is if you fall from a high place into one block of water, you don't die. Now, don't try this at home, kids, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't work. I'm grateful, Jimmy D. Jimmy D's grateful for blockchain charitable HARI charitable. Is that right? Causes. Blockchain charities.
That works.
And collectible. Collectible causes. I guess that works. We'll leave it. All right. Who's up? Who wants to go?
I can
I'll
go.
go because I have to leave for an appointment.
Yeah, go
Okay,
for Karen.
Sure. Karen. Karen's grateful.
I'm
Why are you
grateful for
like,
this
I was on the
opportunity.
stream with this weird dude putting like messages out to Minecraft. Have you heard of that? Karen's grateful for
This opportunity, it's been wonderful.
opportunity to create. I'm gonna add block. I'm gonna put crypto art. That's okay. There we go. All right.
Thank you for your time.
No
Thank you,
problem.
guys.
Thank you. And
See you later.
Sorry,
now,
I'm having a previous appointment, but thank
no,
you.
it's totally. I totally get it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let's go with who wants to go next?
I was going to say I'm grateful for Karen before she left. She spent a lot of time using a microscope and like a one cat hairbrush painting these amazing acrylic paintings for us. Oh, this is Carl. This is not Infidel. We sound the same, but my voice is more
I
silky
can't
and
tell
smooth.
because like it's not speaking. So it doesn't show up. So I'm gonna do this. Carl of Collectible. Carl is grateful
For all the hard work from Karen. Yeah. Yeah, she's done a really amazing job painting, dealing with us. So yeah, my shout out goes out to her for all her wonderful and artistic amazing work.
All right. All right. I just really want to write the infidel is
Silence.
right.
I kill you.
I'm gonna do it this way too. The CC infidel. Collectible Causes infidel is grateful.
I'm most grateful for all the connections that I've made during this project. There's been so many amazing people like yourself that have reached out and wanted to collaborate and help and join, and it's been such a amazing experience. And I can't wait to finish the. Well, this is long, but people can listen to it. I can't wait for Series 1 to be finished, and then we can move on to Series 2 and beyond.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. Like, I hope I'm glad that you answered the question the way that you did, because it seems to me like it probably won't be animals, which I like. Nobody likes a one-hit wonder. We're really used to those in Canada, but there's nothing better than a project that keeps releasing new and awesome things. And it's like these projects are amazing. Like this actually over here. This is the Drop Bears. This is a plot, the Drop Bears Tree Diving Club. And they're an Australian kind of project that has given a bunch of money, or they're going to give like $10,000 after their drop to charity and things like that. And they came in and they, built this. So it's really cool that they were able to build it. If you guys ever want to build anything on one of our community plots, let me know, because I'd love to have a kind of rendition here of Collectible Causes and maybe some Canadian wildlife, something if you're ever ready to build. It might be kind of cool. So what happened here was we did a stream and somebody came in and built this for them. And I was so impressed. Our team at Generate EOS was so impressed with this build that we, after the fact, just kind of handed it over to them and we transferred ownership over to that project. I don't think that they're going to sell it, but it's just really nice to have that opportunity. So if you guys are interested in something like that in in Genesis, let me know, because I'd love to have you featured alongside, some of these other projects that are supporting charities and doing real life good with blockchain technologies, especially through art and NFTs and different various aspects of what we do here every day. So that'd be really cool, honestly.
That sounds amazing. I'd definitely be down to build something super cool there.
Yeah, and I would love to showcase it, because it's let's do this. All right, so I'm gonna talk myself out. It's about that time. I gotta go. I have an appointment as well. But thanks, Carl and the Infidel, for coming and joining me on this Friday morning. Have yourselves a wonderful Thursday night, and please do keep in touch with all of the things that are happening. Let us know when the auction's happening, and let us know. I mean, it's a whole year down the road, but I'm sure there's going to be more things that come in the meantime that I really would love to see. I'm kind of freaking myself out now.
Definitely.
Just talking, right? It's freaky. Just this dude talking to himself on the screen. Let's do it this way. So at the very least, people can see that I am talking about something semi-important. But yeah, thanks. If there's anything you guys want to shout out, definitely, go join their Twitter. I'll put the link tree actually before we go in the private. Sorry, I'll put it in the public chat so that you guys can find all of their sites. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If
Thanks for
anyone
having
wants
us,
to
Jimmy.
chat with myself or anything, I'm usually on Discord after work and sometimes during work. So if anyone has any questions, any concerns, any suggestions, I'm more than happy to hear these things from everybody. So jump into the Discord. That's where I tend to be the most active. If you want to talk to Carl here, he's usually on Twitter. So different ways to reach different people.
Just roll up to the local Tim Hortons. He'll be there. He'll be having his coffee outside. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. And for everyone else, Corey and I will be back, I guess, your Friday morning over in the Americas at 9 a.m. We're going to be doing an Uplift update with a bunch of different kind of things from the Uplift world. Yoshi Drop's got some stuff going on. Obviously, Blue Deck's, rocking it. So drop in at 9 a.m. our standard Eastern time for an Uplift update, not our regular NFT game day, because that was this. Go Collectible Causes. Thank you very much, and y'all take care.
Awesome. Thank you, Jimmy.
Bye-bye.